aware of that, and I do cover that. I look forward to the day when we say no more, this person is the first. But we're talking about a sport right now that many people don't even realize. I was in the hotel. The lady was like, what? And somebody fell. I said, honey, you gotta go tend to that, but you can go look this all up. But I'm just saying, there are people who need to know. So my last question is really pertaining to what's your advice to the audience, how to duplicate your efforts, like for the city or the county, or how do you get that grant? How do you start that program? How do you get on a football team? How do you get the county to support? Let's lay it out.
So I would just say collaboration, and being intentional about finding where those groups are. I mean, there's so many sports, just in recreational sports. And I think I just asked Marcus, who is the executive director for the Durham Sports Commission, for a listing of every youth and adult sports organization, right? Partly now, part of it is because you said you have an injury, but you're not from here, right?
Not from Virginia.
Part of it is because at Duke Sports Science Institute, that's what we do. We actually work with I think it's soccer, Ultimate Frisbee Soccer Professional League, and we provide all of their sports injury care. And so part of it is to make sure that all of the youth and adult sport organizations know that we can provide PT care and all of that, rehab, conditioning and all of that. But the other is also too to know, I want to know all of our opportunities, all of our athletic and recreational opportunities that are in Durham, because we should be supporting them. We have grants at the Durham Sports Commission, so we just gave, I think, $60,000 to the CIAA to host the football championships next year. But we also have smaller grants. We give smaller grants for smaller programs, smaller tournaments. So if somebody wanted to host a tournament, a flag football tournament, we can provide some grant funding to help at least with the overhead costs. So officials, the rental of the stadium, or wherever the site or location is. And so it's really about collaborating from my standpoint in the Durham Sports Commission to make sure that we are facilitating and supporting all sports organizations, and not just the marathon runners and the male sports and things like that, but all sports organizations. And so collaborating is very, very important.
So we have 7 schools in the CIAA that are starting flag football this year. It'll start to be pushed out a little bit more. If you go to theciaaa.com, you'll be able to find more information. We partnered with the NFL and with RCX Sports to provide some seed money, some startup funding, and then each of us found pockets of funding that we have to be able to start up flag football. For me, it was important that they were able to look the part and that we're able to put the resources into our program. And so being able to have scholarships and being able to recruit young women that want to come to Winston-Salem State University, in addition to the students that are already on our campus. And so for us, we'll continue to look for those opportunities to have some of that seed money. But I would tell you that seed money, it won't fund your program, but it will get you started if you need to. But look where you can pull 2,000 here, 2,000 there. Look at your foundations and look at foundations at different universities. Everybody has them. Look at the endowments, because there may be some unrestricted, non-restricted funds and endowments that can support and assist. And then look at some of the NCAA grants. When you're looking at creating an opportunity, say for a coach, so I'm looking at the matching grants that the NCAA has, because I might need assistance, which make you so I can get the salary where I need it to be competitive, to make sure that I'm bringing in a coach that can not only live, but they can thrive while they're growing the program, and also have an opportunity to possibly work in administration. But the NCAA has matching grants. There are sometimes, if you go look at a grant, write the grant and call the school and say, look, I wrote the grant. If you submit it and you get the grant, will you hire me? I had somebody that I hired once that said, hey, I wrote this grant. I was like, I didn't even think of that. I said, that's a great idea. So it's not my idea, somebody else had it. But she also plays tackle football. But I was hiring her in a different capacity, but she had written the grant and we submitted and got the grant. So that's a great model. So you never know what those opportunities could be. So be creative as we're starting up the programs, but we're looking for the best, but also know that you're the best. Know your worth. Reach out. I've had someone that's already sent me a couple emails about our program, wants to talk to me about coaches that are out there. Make sure you're in that pipeline. Take $200, join some organizations. Get involved. Women Leaders in Sports, get involved with NACTA. We Coach, yes ma'am. Get involved with We Coach, bless you. But, you know, yes, I'm sorry, with the garden, Seeds of Empowerment, yes ma'am. But get involved with organizations where you can connect to people. And so that people can speak for you and you start to build that network, because it's so critical for people to know who you are.
And we don't want this sport to grow without women coaches of the sport to grow with it, okay? And let's just put that out there now, right? It is an emerging sport, and we want women representation in the coaching ranks too. So if you know women that are coaching, want to coach, We Coach is a national organization that supports women coaches of all sports, all levels. And I'm on the board. We have coaching academies in Denver. The application closes next Friday on February 7th. There are scholarships to attend these academies. There's 2 different levels. They are phenomenal. Had I stayed in coaching, I would have wanted to make sure that I attended those academies. But it's called We Coach. So if you know women that want to coach, are interested in coaching, are coaching now, there's scholarships available, but it's a great network. They provide so much information every month. There's seminars, programs, it's about 14,000 women coaches that are members right now. So if you're interested, let me know.
Before we go to these 2 young ladies, I do want to mention my current client, Roberta Hayden, does grant writing, okay? So you have somebody sitting in the room, all right, and she sought me out like last month, and I said, well, I'll be in your area, and so she is here to network, all right? She does nothing to do with flag football, but she will after today, okay, all right?
Okay, so obviously my path is different from everyone else up here, but I'm actually in the works of creating my own path. I've had an idea since 2019 of creating a mentorship and travel sports program geared towards female athletes. It's modeled on each level having a mentor or being assigned a mentor who's in a professional space. So I'm going to use myself as an example. If I'm a college student and all of these professional women are here, I'm going to be paired with someone who is in a career or path that I'm trying to go down. Like I'm coaching a basketball team now, middle school age. I'm going to pair them with a high school student athlete, and those high school student athletes will be paired with someone on college level, and then they will be paired with professionals. I'm in the foundational phase. I'm actually waiting to launch it because I don't want to launch nothing and it's not a complete product. So I'm gaining a lot of information here, and it's a lot of people that I would also like to connect with because I could use you. But it is called Girls United in Sport Everywhere. You may see my sport page floating around. And I'm actually looking for mentors to put in place. And I will also be looking to start the actual travel program starting with football. So some of my girls are gonna be told that they're gonna play, they can't tell me no, but they're gonna play flag football, and they will also gain a mentor in myself. So y'all just do it, just do it. Like, I've sat on it for 5 years, and I've watched a whole lot of other people do something similar to something that I created so long ago. So now it's just like, I have to play catch up to myself. So I'm just gonna do it.
And then from the high school level, advice that I would give to start it is don't reinvent the wheel. Whenever we wanted flag football to come to Wake County, Charlotte-Mecklenburg had already started their pilot season. So I spoke to Dr. Erica Turner, she's the district AD for Charlotte-Mecklenburg School. Spoke with her at a state conference. Hey, how did y'all get started? What did y'all do? So from then I learned that they did a grant through the Carolina Panthers. Hey, well, if you're starting a new team, the Panthers will give you startup money to buy all of the uniforms, to buy you your footballs, your flags, everything. Okay, cool. Got the information, brought it back to my district AD. Hey, can we do this? Let's look into it. Okay, then we had our pilot season where we had maybe 3 Saturdays where we had just to kind of gain the entrance. Bunch of girls came out, we said, you know what, next year we're gonna run it as a season. So again, being at that table, being a part of the committee with Wake County to start the flag program. What do we need? How can I help? Whenever they ask for extra opportunities, hey, who wants to help launch our Wake County